then bank might think of financing your venture. But think of a situation that you come up with a very innovative idea, very innovative solution to an existing problem of society, but you do not have any capital of your own. Second, you are a technocrat, you have developed a technology, and but you do not know how to market that technology. Means you have all the technical knowledge, all the technical expertise to produce and manufacture that particular product or technology, but you do not have necessary expertise to start a company, to run a business. Then banks will be of no use, because bank will be simply giving you money, but they will not tell you how to do business. And bank will be giving you money only when you have some money, some equity capital, some capital of your own, so that your equity and borrowed capital, your own capital and borrowed capital, certain ratios are maintained. Then only bank will be giving you money. But the problem starts when you do not have any money of your own, number one. Number two, if your project is very innovative, we are talking about innovations and innovative projects. But if your project is very, very innovative, in that case also, bank will not be advancing you any money, or bank will be reluctant in financing your project, because it is very innovative, and since it is innovative, there is no track record available for that kind of business, and hence you cannot calculate the projected cash flow, projected balance sheet, projected profit and loss account, and it involves a very high risk. So very high risk, very innovative, doing it for the first time, and non-replicable business. Banks normally hesitate to advance money for funding such kind of proposals. And here the savior is the venture capital fund. Now, what is venture capital fund? The meaning of the term venture capital means it is funds made available for startup firms, small businesses with exceptional growth potential. As I told you, this is a very innovative business. Small businesses, initially they will be small, but since they are innovative and very high technology and high risk areas are involved in such kind of businesses, so they have exceptional growth potential. And venture capital funds will be funding these kind of startups. Venture capital is money provided by professionals who, alongside management, invest in young, rapidly growing companies that have the potential to develop into significant economic contributors. So, money provided by professionals. Here, the term is very important. Professionals. Who are those professionals? They are professional in managing money. They are professionals in respect of managing technology. They are engineers or scientists. So, they are professionals alongside management, invest in young and rapidly growing companies. So, in the year 1996, SEBI has defined the term venture capital as a fund established in the form of a company or trust which raises money through loans, donations, issue of securities or units, as the case may be, and makes or propose to make investment in accordance with the regulations. So, according to SEBI, primarily this is a fund, and this fund, definitely this belongs to some organization. So, who shall be that organization? So, this organization can be either a company form of organization, or it can be in the form of a trust. And how this money or the capital of this company or trust is raised? So, it may be through loan, or it may be through donations or issue of shares or securities. So venture capitalists generally they finance new and rapidly growing companies. So venture capitalists they will not finance an existing company. Venture capitalists they will not finance a company whose growth potential is very low. So definitely they will not be financing any money for setting up a grocery shop or a departmental store, because they are already this kind of models are available. So they will not that has to be, the business has to be a new, and it has to be rapidly, there should be a rapid growth potential. And how they finance? They purchase the equity shares. As I told you that normally if you approach to a banker for financing, the banker will ask how much capital do you have of your own, because this is your own business. So bank is going to advance you some money, but you should have your own capital as well. But the problem is that माझी जो नाव डुबाए तो उसे कौन बचाए. So if you do not have your own capital, then who will fund your business? So here venture capital is a savior, that they will purchase equity. They will invest in the equity capital of the company. So once the equity capital is, that base is made, then bankers will be available to fund those businesses. It also assists in the development of new product or services. So definitely venture capitalists will finance only those kind of businesses where some new product or services will be there, and they will assist also in development of those new products and services and add value to the company through active participation. It's not like any other financer that they simply they will give money and they are only interested in getting their principal and interest back. But venture capitalist will add value to the company through its active participation. They will be participating in the company. So one of the representative will be there in the board of the company, and they will be helping the promoter in running the company as well. It have certain features, like one thing is that venture capitalists, they will not fund only for meeting the working capital requirement, or their horizon is actually a very long time. There is a lack of liquidity because normally they invest for a long time period. So there is a lack of liquidity so far as the venture capitalists are concerned, because immediately that cannot be sold out. Whatever, if they have invested in equity, so definitely that is locked for certain period of time, maybe 10 years, 25 years, 15 years. So it is that investment is locked for that particular time period, and before that it cannot be liquidated. These venture capital funds, they invest in a company which have very high risk, which involves high risk. If this high risk is not there, then definitely they will not be investing. And if this high risk is not there, then obviously there will be many financial institutions like banks and insurance companies, indigenous bankers and development financial institutions. They will be ready. They are ready to finance such kind of projects. But it's only the high risk. Because of this, other traditional kind of financiers, they hesitate to advance money or fund such kind of businesses. And here comes the role of venture capitalist. Not only high risk, they also involve very latest and sophisticated technology. And another thing is that equity participation. Equity participation means the bank will not buy the equity capital of the company, because bank will finance on the basis of equity capital of the company. But venture capitalist will purchase the equity shares of the company, so it will help the company in forming its equity base. And participation in management, like unlike other traditional financiers, they will not advance money only for uh, running the business, because it is believed that these venture capitalists, the promoters, whosoever is approaching to the venture capitalists, they have basically two three things, that their business involves very high risk. They are technocrats, so they have developed some technological solution to a company which is non-replicable, and they will be investing in the equity capital of the company. And being a student of company law, you must be knowing that those who have invested in the equity capital of the company, they had the control over the company. So if I have invested in the equity capital and I have the majority of the stakes in the company, I have acquired majority of the equity shares in the company, so definitely I will be the one who will be having the control over the management of the company. So technically, companies majority of the shares are subscribed by the venture capitalists, so technically they are the owners of the company. And since they are the owners of the company, so they will be managing and they will be controlling the company. They have the ultimate say in the management and control of the company, and that's why participation in the management of the company is one very essential features of venture capitalist. So since venture capital we are studying, and being a student we are accustomed to know certain advantages and certain disadvantages of anything. So there are certain advantages of venture capital financing. So first thing is that it injects long term equity finance. As we have seen that this is there are certain unique features of venture capital financing. So one such unique feature is the long term equity financing, which provides a solid capital base for future growth. So venture capitalists, they will be investing for a long time horizon is there. So equity capital base for the company is built upon because of their investment. The venture capitalist is a business partner. So they are not only financer, rather they are business partner. The technicalities I have just explained, that they are actually holders of the equity capital. And anyone who holds the equity capital of the company or significant number of equity shares in a company, he or she, that person actually controls the working of the company. So since venture capitalists, they hold majority of the shares or significant number of shares of a company, so they are actually a business partner, even though they have not have acquired the majority of the shares in a company. But a venture capitalist will be financing a business only on the basis, only on the assumption that they will be entering into the management of the company. They assist the promoter in managing the company, in running the company, and controlling the company, because it is believed that the person who have set up a business or who have innovated some new business model, they are very good in technology, they are technocrats, but they may not be having expertise in running a business. And that's why venture capitalists, they help a company, help the promoter in running the business in the initial days. And that's why they are partner in the business, so they share the risk and reward both. Venture capitalists are rewarded by business success and capital gain. Venture capitalist is able to provide practical advice and assistance to the company based on past experience, because it is their business. They fund number of such projects, so they have a huge experience in running the company. So this, on the basis of their experience, they help the promoter in running a business. Venture capitalist also has a network of contacts in many areas that can add value to the company. It's self-explanatory. Venture capitalists may be capable of providing additional rounds of funding should it be required to finance or growth. Okay. A venture capitalists are experienced in the process of preparing a company for an initial public offering of its shares into the stock exchange or overseas stock exchanges. This requires very careful understanding, because a bank normally finance a project, and for that in return bank will be asking for interest. That if the bank have given a loan of say 100 crore for a project, so definitely bank will be interested in getting its principal amount back, as well as the interest for the period during which the loan was for a period during which the loan was actually granted. But venture capitalists, they do not provide loan to the company, rather they invest in the equity capital of the company. And being a student of commerce or management or uh, company law, you must be knowing that equity shareholders, they are not entitled to a fixed rate of return like this loan providers, financiers are there, like a bank or this bond holders. So equity shareholders, they are entitled to a dividend in the company if the company is making profit. If the company is not making any profit, definitely these equity shareholders, they will not be getting anything. So venture capitalist is funding a business both way. One as a loan, second as a equity. For a loan, definitely it will be getting its principal plus interest. But for equity, it will not be getting any interest, neither principal. And it cannot, the company cannot buy back its own shares. It cannot return the equity capital money to the company in which it has financed, because company law says that the shares once issued are forever, it cannot be taken back. So venture capital is only one way to get extract its money back, is to offload its equity shares into the market. So it may be through offer for sale, or it may be through initial public offering. So what is the profit? That when venture capitalists have invested in the capital of the company, at that time might be the value of one equity share is only 10 rupees. And say after 10 years, they are offloading all those equity shares into the market by way of initial public offering or offer for sale or just any other way. So at that time, the market value of those shares may be 100 rupees. So they have invested in equity share for 10 rupees, and after 10 years it is 100 or 1000 rupees, and they will be selling all those shares, their holdings, into the market, say for at 1000 shares per share, and they will be making a profit of 990 rupees per equity share per unit. So this is how they run a business. There are different stages of financing. What is that stages of financing? That is seed money. Initially it can be in the form of seed money, that is low level of financing needed to prove a new idea. Then once the idea is proved, then startup money will be given, that is the early stage firms that need funding for expenses associated with marketing and product development. Then first round of financing, early sales and manufacturing funds. Second round, working capital for early stage companies that are selling product but not turning a profit. Third round, it is also called mezzanine financing, which is expansion money for a newly profitable company. Fourth round, also called bridge financing, it is intended to finance the going public process. That is the ultimately when the company is going to list itself into any of the recognized stock exchanges. So this is clear that venture capitalists, they will finance an idea or a company in several rounds, starting from the seed money to the fourth round. And it may also so happen that venture capitalists have financed a project for the seed money, and later on in this level itself, this project may not be felt viable and it may be stopped. There may be some other like a some other advances, like apart from seed money, a startup money is given, but it may not be given the next round of financing. And in this level itself, the venture capitalist and the promoter might think that this is not a feasible idea, a feasible business to carry forward, and then it might be stopped. But once this first, second, and third round of financing is given, then definitely they will be thinking to go to the fourth level of financing and to list the shares into the stock exchange, and so that they can exit from the business. So that exit option is actually this going public. Risk in each stage is different. During the seed money stage, the risk is very high, extreme. uh, it may require 7 to 10 years of lock-in period. Startup, another 5 to 9 years, and the risk is very high. First stage, it is high. When in the fourth stage, the risk is very low, because in the fourth stage company is normally stabilized and almost everything is certain that company is not going to face any loss in this at this level, and that's why this fourth stage, the risk is considered to be low. The investment process of a venture capital fund starts with the deal origination, that somebody have to initiate the process. The idea has to be originated, so that is the deal origination. And once the deal is originated, so there will be maybe thousands and thousands of proposals, thousands and thousands of ideas submitted to the venture capital fund. Not all the ideas are equally profitable, and not all the ideas are equally feasible and viable. So screening is required, and after screening, only a very few number of ideas are actually screened or selected to be financed. Once this screening is done, the next is the due diligence, that is evaluation of those ideas. Very few ideas which have been screened. Now, not all the ideas which has been screened in are equally viable once again. So the due diligence, because suppose we can come up with certain idea, but later on it might be the case that that idea is not viable either economically or technologically or legally. Okay, so suppose someone have submitted an idea, so economically that might be a very profitable idea, but it may be something that may harm the environment, or legally that is not allowed. So those kind of ideas has to be discarded in this due diligence level, that is evaluation. And after this evaluation level, the next is the deal structuring. So only, again it is further narrowing down, only very few number of ideas will be selected further, and then the deal will be structured, like how this funding will be done, whether it will require equity financing, or it will require loan capital, or it will require what kind of involvement in that company, that process. So deal restructuring is required. Once everything is finalized, then post investment activity, then the company starts investing in that particular kind of venture. So, and finally, exit plan. Exit plan is very important for a venture capitalist. Investment in a venture, in a new business is very important. But as I told you that like any other financer, for any other financer, exit plan is very simple. Say for example, the bank have submitted proposal, and bank has given money to a business in the form of loan. So their exit plan is very simple, that they will be simply claiming their principal plus interest back. Howsoever you are giving them back, that most of the time banks are not concerned with that. They will be simply interested in getting their money back along with the interest. But the exit plan in case of venture capital is very important and very complex as well, because they are not only investing money in the borrowed capital of the company, that is, they are not only giving loan to the company, rather they are investing in the equity capital of the company. So exit plan from the equity is very difficult, because your equity should be so much attractive that there should be buyers available in the market, or the company should buy it back, or the promoters should buy it back. Who will buy back your equity holdings? That has to be decided in advance, and that is the exit plan. That's very important. It has to be decided well in advance at the very beginning of signing this venture capital, this memorandum of understanding. So the process of investment opportunity evaluation by the investors. So only 6 out of 1000 business plan gets funded on an average. So this is, see, there, if there are 1000 business proposals submitted, only 6 gets funding. Only 5% of the business plans are read beyond the executive summary. So you will get to know that whenever some business plans are submitted, so one executive summary has to be submitted, and then detailed business proposal has to be submitted. Only 5% of the all business plans that have been submitted, people or the financiers or the bankers, they read beyond the executive summary. Means 95% of the business plans are rejected at the level of executive summary itself. So the learning is that write the executive summary very beautifully and very lucidly. 10% of proposals pass initial screening. That's an interesting number. And 10% of the pre-screened proposals pass due diligence and receive funding. So this is from opportunity introduction to funding. This entire process we have already explained, so I'm not going to repeat it once again. So as I already told you in the first part of my lecture as well, that what are the different methods of venture capital financing. So I'm repeatedly telling that venture capital is the very innovative way of financing the equity capital. It may also provide conditional loan, income note, participating in debenture. Debenture is also a kind of loan given to the company, or quasi equity. Quasi means half equity, means initially they will be investing in forms of some bonds. Later on they can be converted into equity shares. That's called quasi equity. So initially they will be a kind of loan capital, loan given to the company, and that loan can be converted into equity capital later on. How to exit route? So exit route, as I already told you, that it may be through initial public offer, that when the venture capital financing have invested in the company, at that time the value of one share might be 10 rupees or 100 rupees, and later on, maybe after 5 years or 10 years down the line, when the company gets going, and after that the value of the same equity share is say around 1000 rupees or 2000 rupees, so 10 rupees become 1000 rupees, so they will offload their equity holdings into the market by way of initial public offer, that is by issue of equity shares in the market, public issue, and this is how they will exit from the business. Trade sale, they will simply sell it to some of the players in the market. Promoter buyback, the promoter, because I told you that promoter in the initial days they did not have sufficient money to invest in the company, they did not have money to invest in the equity capital of the company, but later on they might be having some, because after during in the course of time they have acquired sufficient knowledge, they might be accumulating sufficient wealth, they might be having sufficient contacts, and they might be generating sufficient goodwill with the bank, then they can buy back their own shares. So that shares will be transferred from the venture capitalist to the promoters. Infosys is one such example. Infosys was funded through a venture capital financing. So initially the majority of the equity shares were held by a venture capitalist. Later on, a part of the equity holdings of venture capital in Infosys was offloaded into the market, and some of the equity shares were given back to the promoters. The promoters bought it back, like Narayana Murthy or Nandal Nilekani. So these promoters buy back their own shares, and it might be acquisition by another company. Another company might be acquiring the shares of venture capitalist, and this is how the entire company will be acquired by another company. There are company like WhatsApp is a very innovative startup by a group of young people, and later on it was acquired by Facebook. So WhatsApp was acquired by Facebook, or there is a company called Jangali.com or Mintra.com. So Mintra.com was acquired by the Flipkart, or Jangali.com was acquired by Amazon.com. So these are like these were the startups, but these startups were acquired by already an established company in the area. There is a new channel, just log into the YouTube, like lullantop.com. So lullantop.com, it was a startup, very innovative idea, and later on it was acquired by Asta Group. So acquisition by another company is also one way of exit route. In India, there are a number of venture capital funds like IDBI have a venture capital wing. Government levied 5% cess on all know-how import payment to create the venture capital. ICICI also started venture capital activity in the year 1987 itself. Later on, ICICI floated a separate venture capital company. Venture capital funds in India can be categorized into following 5 groups. Those promoted by the central government controlled developed financial institutions, for example, ICICI Venture Fund Limited, IFCI Venture Capital Funds Limited, and SIDBI Venture Capital Funds Limited. So these are the venture capitalists promoted by the central government. Second group of venture capitalists are promoted by the state government controlled development financial institutions. So for example, Punjab Infotech Venture Capital Fund, Gujarat Venture Finance Limited, Kerala Venture Capital Fund Private Limited, and third one is the promoted by the public sector banks like Canara Bank Venture Capital Fund or SBI Capital Market Limited. And the fourth category is promoted by the private sector companies like IL&FS Trust Company Limited, Infinity Venture India Limited, those established by an overseas venture capital fund but operating in India like HSBC Private Equity Management, Mauritius Limited, Walden International Investment Group. So there are 5 different types of categories of venture capital funds operating in India. You can just remember central government control financial institutions, state government control financial institutions, public sector bank, private sector companies, and foreign players are there. These are the 5 players available in the market in India. How does venture capital work? So venture capital firms typically source the majority of their funding from large investment institutions. These investment institutions expect a very high return on investment simply because they operate in an area which involves very high risk and high technology. So definitely their expectation will also be very high, because that's why they are investing in a very high risk uh, activity. If their return would have been, their expectation would have been very low, then definitely they will not be investing in a very high risk and high technology areas. Venture capitalists invest in companies with high growth, high potential, where they are able to exit through either IPO or a merger or acquisition. I already explained that high growth potential has to be there, and their primary ROI comes from capital gain. As I already explained, that suppose they have invested and at that time the market value of one equity share was 10 rupees. So at the time of exit, the market value of the same equity might be 1000 rupees. So that from 10 to 1000, so 990 rupee is the capital gain. So that is their primary objective of investing in any startup company, so that they can uh, earn money through capital gain, though they will be receiving some dividend also, because they will keep themselves invested in a particular project, say for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. So during this 10 to 20 years or 50 years, 15 years, definitely they will be getting some dividend as well from their equity holdings, but that is very small amount. Their majority and their primary objective is to get capital gain. Critical factors for the success of venture capital is the regulatory, tax, and legal environment in a country. Then resource raising, investment management, and exit should be as simple as flexible and driven by global trends. Venture capital should become an institutionalized industry that protects investors and investee firms. In view of increasing global integration and mobility of capital, it is important that Indian venture capital funds as well as venture finance enterprises are able to have global exposure. Okay, this is understood, and infrastructure in the form of incubators and R&D need to be promoted using government support and private management. So this is the growth of venture capital funds in India. So in the year 2007, it is the at the peak, then it is coming down, and again it is actually coming down in the 2014-15, again it is coming down. In 2018 I have that data that again it is towards the peak. So this is all about this venture capital financing. Thanks for your patient listening.